Fables of La Fontaine. Discord. Discord, who had the gods entangled about an apple, how they wrangled, was driven from the skies at last, and to that animal came fast that they call man. Her brother, too, whether or no, who longed to view our ball of earth. Her father came, old thine and mine, the very same. She did much honor to our sphere by longing so much to be here. She cared not for the other race who watched us from aerial space. We were gross folk, not tamed the least, who married without law or priest. Discord no business had at all the proper places where to call. Scandal has orders to find out. She, a right busy active scout, falls quick to quarrel and debates, and always peace anticipates. Blows upon a spark into a blaze, not to burn out for many days. Scandal at length complained she'd found no refuge certain above ground, and often lost her precious time. She must have shelter in this clime, a point from whence she could send forth discord, west, east, or south, or north. There were no nunneries then, you see, that made it difficult, may be. The inn of wedlock was assigned at last, and suited Scandal's mind. Well, there you have it. Discord. What's this all about? Well, this fable starts out talking about how Discord got the gods entangled about an apple and how they wrangled. So what they're talking about was Paris was he was a prince, but he was also a shepherd. And there was a party that the gods of Mount Olympus and some of the lesser gods were holding. And they wanted to have a good time, so they said that Eris, the goddess of discord, could not attend this party, so they kicked her out. So Discord was kind of angry about this. So she made a golden apple and engraved on this golden apple, "For the most beautiful." And then she went up to where the party was, and like a bowling ball, she rolled this apple right into the center of the party. And there, the three Olympian goddesses. Now, the Olympian gods of ancient Greece, ones who lived on Mount Olympus, there were 12. You could say there were 13 because eventually Hercules, known as Heracles, he becomes an Olympian, but that's a story for another time. And three of these Olympian goddesses, Hera, she's basically the mother of most of the goddesses. She is Zeus's wife, Hera. Then there was Athena, who is the goddess of wisdom, and she was a daughter of Zeus as well. And Aphrodite. Aphrodite was the goddess of love. So, of course, when this apple rolled in, all three of these goddesses grabbed the apple and demanded that the apple belonged to them because, of course, it says "for the most beautiful." So they bickered and bickered and bickered. Discord made them fight. Even though she was kicked out of the party, she still found a way to create discord within the party. So Eris, goddess of discord, did what she wanted to do. Anyway, it was decided that Paris, the shepherd prince, was to decide who was the most beautiful. All the goddesses agreed, okay, we'll let this guy decide. So, of course, these goddesses were so beautiful to human eyes that basically, if he even looked at these goddesses, he would die. But they made it so that he was safe to look at them. And of course, he was so bewildered, he could not determine which one was more beautiful than the next. It was like picking 3 stars in the sky and saying which one was the most beautiful. So Hera took him aside and said, listen, you vote for me, you can be the king of whatever kingdom you want. You could be the most powerful king in the world. What do you say? And anyway, Paris was like, oh my, that sounds great. Anyway, she wanders off. And then, of course, Athena comes up and says, hey, nudge, nudge. What do you say you choose me, and I'll make you the most wise, intelligent man who ever will live. So he thinks about this and goes, oh, wow, that sounds fantastic. Let me think about this. So she scurries off like a rat. And then next thing, Aphrodite comes up and sidles up next to him and goes, hey, big boy, vote for me, and you can have the most beautiful woman in the world as your wife. So then she takes off. So Paris has a conundrum. He's like, what can I choose? I could have unlimited power as the most powerful king. I could have unlimited wisdom. Or I could have the most beautiful woman in the world. So he foolishly decides that he will go for the most beautiful woman in the world. So he says Aphrodite is the most beautiful, gives her the golden apple engraved for the most beautiful. And Aphrodite comes up and says, well, excellent. Thank you very much. And he goes, well, where's the most beautiful woman in the world? Oh, that's Helen. She's over in Troy. So go over there and she's yours. So, of course, the king of Troy wasn't going to give up his wife. So this is the start of the Trojan War. Trojan War. So, anyway, Helen had the face that launched 1,000 ships because 1,000 ships went over to fight. Helen was married, and of course, he wanted her as his wife. Anyway, this is what discord did. Caused all kinds of trouble. The Trojan War lasted for 10 years, created lots of death and destruction. Ultimately, the old Trojan horse went in, the guys came out and burned Troy to the ground. But that's a story for another time. This is about discord. So, after discord angered Hera and Athena, and they went to their husbands and said, well, they went to Zeus. Hera said to her husband, hey, this discord's causing trouble. And Athena went to her father, Zeus, and said, hey, well, get her out. What the heck is going on? And Aphrodite was like, oh, well, what's the problem? Anyway, so they decided to throw Eris off of Mount Olympus. She wasn't an Olympian anyway, but, she could hang out up there, I guess. So they kicked her out and said, no more, you got to go to Earth. So anyway, she came to Earth and she said, fine, I don't want to hang out with those gods anyway. I'd rather hang out with humans. And when she came to Earth, before she came to Earth, everything was perfect. Men and women would get married. They didn't need any law. They didn't need any priests. Love was natural. They got, there was no discord. So when she came, she was like, well, what am I going to do? This is no fun. I like to cause quarrels and debates, and, whenever there's trouble, I like to blow on this spark of trouble and set it ablaze so that it turns into a terrible time for days. So, where can I go? She looked all around, didn't know where to go, had to find a home before it was too late, so she decided that she would go and live in marriage. So, this is why 50% of marriages end in divorce. 80% of marriages that end in divorce are initiated by the woman. Of the 50% of marriages that do not end in divorce, the vast majority of these are pretty unhappy. Why? Because of discord, trouble, problems. Back in the day when you got married, you were stuck. You had to commit. It lasted forever. And these people learned to get along and loved one another even with discord because they knew eventually it'd cool off and no trouble. But modern marriages, any discord that comes in, these people do not honor commitments. And the first sign of discord, a lot of divorces are filed. And as I said, 80% of these divorces are filed by women. They're not happy. Oh, I'm not happy. He works too much, or he doesn't work enough, or he makes a mess. And terrible, because as you may know, family court, nobody wins in family court, but particularly men lose almost everything in family court. But the marriage is destroyed, the kids' lives are ruined, and even if the woman thinks she's winning because she's getting money and maybe property, her kids are unhappy. She's probably not going to find a better husband anywhere. And these days, men are not interested in getting married. There's no commitment, the marriage can end, and they end up in family court, and the man loses most of what he worked his whole life for. And it's all because of discord. So, anyway, if you have anything you'd like to add, any thoughts, any complaints, any criticisms, down below. Until next time, goodbye, love you.